It actually was real. And also Harrison Butker, three-time Super Bowl champion and a Catholic, goes on the attack of Joe Biden, and rightfully so, because let's go ahead and blow up the chat right now. Even if you are not a Catholic, comment in the chat. Let's get at least 1,000 comments while we're doing this live feed. Is Joe Biden a Catholic? Comment below yes or no in the chat. Let's blow it up. I want to see what you guys have to say about that. Let's go ahead and disrupt Rumble services pretty quick. Is Joe Biden a Catholic? I think the answer is absolutely nay. Joe Biden is a Catholic. Wow, there you go. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I also want to thank you guys for hanging around. Obviously, it's just me here again today while we do all these transitions, while we're doing all this building of the new studio and stuff. I'm kind of solo in it right this second. And there is something cool about that. There is something interesting about being able just to talk to you guys. Yeah, so let's get business out of the way first. Those of you who are watching this, we need you to do us a huge favor. We need you to hit that like button, or as the hip kids would say, smash that like button. The more you hit the like button, the more people see the video. And also make sure to hit the follow button. If this is your first time, make sure to hit the follow button so you never miss an episode ever. Please leave us comments in the live chat across the board. Super questions. This is a great opportunity for you guys to ask me questions because it's literally just me here. So if you want the real in-depth stuff across the board, no interruptions from Todd or all this other kind of stuff. I know Todd's in the chat. This is a good opportunity. $5 or more. We will stop at the 30-minute mark. And then, of course, we will also go at the end to make sure we get every super question across the board answered for you guys. So if you want to shout out your business, you want to give a shout out to your kids, you want to have a question, an honest question with me, let's go ahead and do that now. I want to first, though, we're going to start today off a little bit differently because an email caught my eye. And I just felt like this was an email that it just caught my eye. So we're going to read it and then I'm going to talk about it really quick. All right. So it was just titled Need Prayers. And this person says, Graham, good evening. This was last night. Just standing in need of prayers. And here's what they said. Just some days I've been feeling like I am in the way of my husband and children and grandchildren, and I could use some prayers. Thank you. And I'll say their first name, Sheila. And it caught my eye because it sounded like this person may be in a place where perhaps they're feeling like anytime you say the words, I feel like I'm in the way of my husband, children, and grandchildren, what you're essentially saying is you feel as though maybe perhaps they'd be better off if you were not here. And so I wanted to address that because I feel like we have a platform here. I feel like we have the ability to talk about that. So Ms. Sheila, I really want to take this opportunity to speak to you directly. Your family would not be better off if you were not here. In fact, I would argue to say that if God put breath in your lungs this morning, and those of you, you need to like this and share this because we need Sheila to hear this. And comment below if you are standing with Sheila right now in the chat. Let her see this. I would argue that if God woke you up this morning, he put breath in your lungs this morning. In fact, by simply falling asleep, that's when we put the most faith in God because there's no guarantee that we're going to wake up the next morning. God wakes us up. If God woke you up this morning, then that means he is not done with your life yet. That means that you have a divine purpose, a calling. God is not through with you yet. So this doesn't just go to Miss Sheila. This goes to anybody that may be feeling this way. Any thoughts that the world would be better off if you're not in it, those are demonic. Those are evil. That is the enemy trying to degrade and pervert your mind. because it's anti-God, because God woke you up this morning. That means you have a purpose. God woke you up this morning. That means there are people in this world that you are supposed to connect to and you are supposed to minister to, whether that be your kids, your husband, your grandkids, whatever. And guys, I need you to blow this chat up more for Sheila right now, because she stepped out in faith enough to request a prayer request. And I won't give her last name, but Sheila, listen to me. God loves you. You have a purpose here, right now. And I'm going to pray this out right now. Dear Lord, we pray right now that any spirit of oppression and any thoughts of anxiety, they must go. Any thoughts of depression, they must go. Any thoughts of this ridiculous nonsense that Sheila's family will be better off without her, go now. There is no room for anything except the Holy Spirit. The end. God, you woke us all up this morning. That means you are not done with us right now. That means there is a purpose on our lives, and any other thought other than fulfilling that purpose is of the enemy. And we rebuke it right now, and we praise you, Lord, for waking us up this morning. And God, with Sheila right this second, and anybody watching this right in this moment, I feel compelled to say to them, your life has meaning. Your life has purpose, and God sees you. And I promise you, there are people in your life right now that value you as well. So we rebuke all those evil thoughts right this second in the Lord's name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are struggling with thoughts like this, I compel you to please talk to somebody. Find a loved one, find a pastor, find someone that can help lead you in the right direction, that can help put you in the right mindset, because that's the enemy, the end. And don't let the enemy win. Sheila, we're praying for you. Absolutely, 100%, because that's what we are here at this show. Across the board. So, all right. So that was a little interesting way to open it, but I felt compelled to do so with that email. So have Sheila in your thoughts and your prayers, but also it's not lost on me that so many people feel this every day, and so many people are hurting every day, and they don't exactly know what to do every single day. But we have over 4,500 people united in prayer right now, and we can break that. We can change that. Where two or more are gathered in his name, imagine what 4,470 people can do. So it's crazy. All right, so let's move on a little bit here, and let's get going. All right, we got some breaking news from President Trump last night. He put out a video last night, and here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you. Remember how I told you that bird flu was going to be this big deal? Remember how I told you that? Remember how I said it's going to be the next thing? Well, if you stand with President Trump and you refuse to comply, I need you to comment "will not comply" in the comment section. But this is getting real, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting very, very, very real. And Mr. Producer, while you play this clip, if you could Google bird flu and show the results in news articles after this video, I'd appreciate it. But let's listen to what President Trump has to say about the fear-mongering from the mainstream media right now.
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. Gee whiz, you know what else is coming? An election. They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with. But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns.
Will not.
We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates.
Nope.
They rigged the
Never
2020
again.
election, and now they're trying to do the same thing all over again by rigging the most important election in the history of our country, the 2024 election, even if it means trying to bring back COVID. But they will fail because we will not let it happen.
COVID's the bird flu.
When I'm
COVID's
back in the
bird
White
flu.
House, I will use every available authority to cut federal funding to any school, college, airline, or public transportation system that imposes a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, bird flu is coming, and you just need to say 3 simple words, and that is we will, well, 4 simple words. We will not comply. The end. All right, Mr. Producer, let's look at, go to news, go to the news category here for that. This is what I want to show you here. So you can see, just slow scroll. The bird flu stuff is starting to pick up a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you that I'm telling you, they're already, go to that article real quick, just the one you just scrolled past, go up a little bit, right there. The San Francisco Chronicle, you don't have to click on it, but look at this. Bird flu is spreading at factory farms. We got an article. Go back. It's just like, look, let's point the blame where it belongs. So now they're already starting to blame people. Sound familiar? Sounds a lot like COVID. Keep scrolling down. Let's look at this here real quick. This is the stuff I'm telling. Look, dairy cows, dairy farm workers under surveillance for bird flu transmission and outbreak. This is the play. Like this is, and I told you guys, who remembers me telling you? Comment in the chat if you remember me telling you that this was going to be the thing. Comment below. Do you guys remember me talking about that? I mean, this is it. This is the playbook. This is what they want to do across the board. Is there bird flu in California? Wastewater testing finds H5N1 in avian flu in 9 Texas cities. I'm telling you. And now President Trump as well is saying that this is the thing. And they're going to try to do it again. And the question that we have to ask ourselves today, especially as Americans and the church as well, is how are you going to respond this time? Are you going to act in fear? Are you going to show the world that you don't believe in something bigger than ourselves and the peace that supersedes all understanding through our Lord Jesus Christ? Are you going to back down again? Or are you going to stand firm in what you know to be true? That's going to be the big test, and that's going to be the big question as we move forward. So pay attention to this, guys, and you need to like this video. You need to share this video with everybody that you know, because even President Trump is talking about it now across the board. This is only going to get bigger deal. This is only going to become a bigger issue as we move on. All right, we got to talk about the Ashley Biden laptop stuff. And Mr. Producer, you're going to have to help me out a little bit because I can't see the notes. So you're going to have to remind me what's next. But I'm pretty sure before we get into the Ashley Biden laptop, though, I want to get into our first sponsor. And that, of course, is Birch Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear me talk about this all the time. It is time for you to get off your proverbial butt and text the word Graham, that's GRAHAM, to 989898 right now. I get it. I've heard what you guys have to say, and I've had talks with Birch Gold about this. When you text this number, they are going to call you to get your information, to send you a free information kit. And then they're only going to follow up with you once a month at best until you tell them no, flat out. All right. But I truly, truly believe that this information kit is vital for your information and your understanding. As we talked about yesterday, and as we showed you yesterday, if you had put your savings, your IRA, your 401k into gold a year ago, you would be up over in right now. Gold is at a 40-year high right this second. And so I'm begging you, it's as simple as a text message while you're watching this episode right now. Please find out how gold and precious metals can protect your money. Please, if you care about your family and your resources, please text the word Graham to 98, 98, 98 right now and let my friends at Birch Gold explain to you how to deal with Joe Biden's economy. It will absolutely fundamentally save your life. Free information is vital information. Text the word Graham to 98, 98, 98 right now. All right. So let's get into this Ashley Biden diary stuff. So Ashley Biden's diary was found. And Mr. Producer, can we click on the written page really quick? And you're going to have to make it bigger for me so I can see it today. Because this is, I'm going to look over here. Okay. So this is written pages. And as you can see in the circled stuff here, she even asked the questions, was I molested? And then if you scroll down a little further here, this is another thing. At a young age, showers with my dad in little parentheses or whatever, probably not appropriate. These were pages and excerpts found in the diary. And again, that's not good. I don't think anybody wants... I don't think any parent is at a point where they're like, oh, yeah, that's great to be doing that. But she also wrote a letter. So let's go to that letter real quick, Ms. Producer, and you're going to have to zoom in for me again so I can try to read this to everybody here. Let's see. There we go. Go full screen for me real quick, and let's zoom in just a little bit more. All right. Dear Chief Judge Swan, I am deeply saddened that I even have to write this letter because my personal private journal was stolen and sold for profit. The point of the theft, I assume, was to be able to peddle grotesque lies by distorting my stream of consciousness thoughts. The reason I have decided to not attend tomorrow's sentencing in person is because it would only increase my pain. Nonetheless, I ask your honor to sentence the defendant to time in prison. All right, let's scroll down a little bit more. Although this criminal act happened more than 3 years ago, because of the publicity it drew exactly as Miss Harris intended, I constantly am re-traumatized by it. I will forever have to deal with the fact that my personal journal can be viewed online. All right, so let's go back here for a second. Okay, so there's a lot of admitting that what was in that diary was true in this, that there's a lot of her talking about the pain that she's having to relive every single time. And I think that Alyssa would agree. Anyone that has dealt with real trauma in their lives, the worst possible thing would be for it to be released to the masses in a way that you don't want it to be released, right? So this letter to me speaks to that. This letter speaks to the fact that this is a trauma that this young lady is having to deal with that now is public information for the whole world to view. But now, but what happened was when a bunch of people tried to say, hey, Ashley Biden's diary, and let me go back. I'm not negating this young woman's pain. If this is in fact true, and this is in fact real, which more and more things are starting to point to that it may be just that, real. I don't want to downgrade this woman's pain suffered potentially and allegedly at the hands of her own father, that is President Joe Biden. But what I will say is, for every single person who brought this up, initially there was a lot of fact checks involved, and people were censored, people were deplatformed, people were demonetized, their pages were put at risk. But Ms. Producer, let's show the corrections that have been made first here in this regard, because now that it has been proven right, this is Jack Posobiec and this is Snopes. Snopes is a known fact-checking organization, which basically what they do is when information comes out that they don't like, they have one of their journalists write an article that just simply disagrees with the opinion, and then they rate it to be false, and Facebook and Instagram and all these places use that as actual fact instead of a contrary opinion. That's how that works. But Snopes has been forced to put a true rating on this. Can we zoom in on that at all, Mr. Producer, so people can see this? Here we go. Let's click on that. And let's zoom in all the way, all the way. And the question was, a diary authored by U.S. President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, describes actions taken towards her by her father when she was a child as probably not appropriate. They have now had to put that as a true statement. Now, remember, in the beginning, that was a false statement. We were conspiracy theorists. We were lying to you. But now all of a sudden, turns out it was absolutely true. Now, I believe it was Newsweek has now come up with a timeline of this entire thing. So we're going to make this full screen and we're going to bring you guys along for the ride. And you need to hit that share button. Here we go. How was the diary found? All right. Oh, this is Associated Press, I guess. All right. According to an Associated Press report covering Harris's prosecution, Ashley Biden was moving out of a friend's home in Delray Beach, Florida in spring 2020 when she stored the diary and other belongings at the property. Prosecutors said Biden had believed the items had been stored safely. All right, let's go down. All right, Harris later moved into the same room, found the items, and contacted Kurlander of nearby Jupiter, who said it would help to sell them for a ton of money. All right, so this is how it came to be. Prosecutors say the pair made a failed offer to sell it to the Trump 2020 campaign for $20,000 per person. It was later sold for $40,000 to Project Veritas, a media organization known for its controversial undercover news story. All right, can we pause for a moment? Can I just say really quick, the Trump organization, how easy would it have been for them to be like, oh yeah, no, we're buying that? How easy would that have been? I don't know. That's interesting to me in a way. I know that information has to get out there. Trust me, I truly believe in that. But to me, the fact that the Trump campaign said no, I don't know, shows restraint on their part. Trust but verify kind of thing. I don't know. I find that very interesting that the Trump campaign didn't take an opportunity to pounce there across the board. Wow, we're at 1,113 comments from you guys already. That's insane. All right. But let's go back to the article and let's keep on reading here. All right. So let's see. Project Veritas did not publish the diary as it couldn't verify it belonged to Ashley Biden at the time. However, as reported by fact checker Snopes, another conservative media outlet, the National File published it in November 2020. What it said was a copy of the complete diary of Ashley Blazer Biden, the 30-year-old daughter of Democrat presidential candidate Joe Biden, dating from the summer of 2020 in the presidential campaign. The Intercept and New York Magazine both reported that the diary was said to have been leaked to the National File from a source at Project Veritas. In 2021, federal agents searched multiple New York homes of people affiliated with Project Veritas, and its founders, James O'Keefe, said it had received a grand jury subpoena because of the diary. All right, let's pause again. All right, so the National File is the one that released it, allegedly from a leak from Project Veritas, but then the FBI raids members of Project Veritas in James O'Keefe's home. How many people remember when James O'Keefe got raided by the FBI? Comment in the chat and let me know. I remember that. But again, it's so interesting to me that you've got this leaked diary, right, of Ashley Biden. You've got this leaked diary that's alleging that Joe Biden, the president of the United States, is allegedly this potential pedophile. But yet the FBI goes and raids the homes of Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. Doesn't it seem a bit backwards? Like, wouldn't you want to investigate the potential pedophile? Is that, maybe I'm weird. If anybody's in law enforcement, please let me know. I'm curious about this. I'm not saying that maybe leaking the diary, all this other stuff, maybe they did it improperly or all this. But what I'm saying is you got a written diary from the daughter of the president of the United States. Isn't that something that you might want to look into as well? Like, it's just weird to me that that didn't occur, but the people that allegedly leaked the diary, the FBI shows up. Why is the FBI there? That's weird too. But let's go back to the article and let's read a little bit more here as we go along. All right. O'Keefe said that the group never engaged in any illegal conduct and said he had no doubt Project Veritas acted appropriately at each and every step. He added his group tried to return the diary to a lawyer for Ashley Biden and later provided it to law enforcement, though it did not specify which agency the group contacted. All right, let's go down a little bit here. All right. Harris and Kurlander, those are the people who got rid of it. I don't care. Let's keep going down a little bit here. Let's get to keep going. I want to get to the next, here we go. The unverified diary. Here we go. Snopes, a horrific organization that is known for lying. Snopes is a bunch of liars. Snopes reported in March 2023 that reporting and circumstantial evidence strongly suggests the stolen diary did belong to Ashley Biden, but yet they rated everyone false that talked about it. That's weird. However, neither the contents of the diary nor its authenticity have been confirmed by law or government officials. The investigation and prosecution of the diary's theft led to misreported claims that officials in Project Veritas had confirmed the document's authenticity during the course of legal proceedings. However, as Snopes reported in March 2023, these were based on misreadings of court's documents and statements. Despite the controversy and lack of verification surrounding the diary's acquisition, conservative commentators such as Libs of TikTok and Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene have used the scandal to attack the president. Greene has suggested that Harris' arrest and the circumstances around it amounted to a cover-up. Okay, so let's go and let's talk about that for just a second. Okay, so Snopes literally says that all signs point to the fact that this Ashley Biden diary is real. But yet, no law enforcement agencies have made that official yet. So therefore, everything you say is false. And if you so much as try to talk about it, we're going to rate you as false. We're going to get your content taken down because it hurts the president of the United States. That's what these fact check organizations do. They either make up and lie entirely, or they take something. Here's the thing. If all signs and evidence are pointing to, it literally said that in the article, if all signs and evidence are pointing to the fact that this diary is real, but law enforcement hasn't been able to 100% verify that it is Ashley Biden's diary, is that a completely false statement? Or is it a needs more context at best, right? But they don't care about that. They're going to put all the commentators talking about this are liars. All of you, you're liars. Every one of you, you're liars. This is not true. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a this, you're a that. It's a whole game, a scam. But let's keep on reading the article here because this is a really good timeline of how all this stuff has gone down. Let's see. Make it full screen for me. Is that it? Okay. Well, now we have information that has come down that the Ashley Biden diary is in fact real. Just like we talked about from the entire time. And this is how it goes because now Snopes is having to retract all of these things. Snopes is now having to go in now that we know for a fact that the Ashley Biden diary is real. Snopes is literally having to go back and change that again. Can we go to the other one where you can zoom in on it a little more, Mr. Producer, for everybody to see this? Here you go. All right, let's zoom in. What's the question that they're rating? They are rating the fact, go up just a little bit, Mr. Producer. All right, a diary authored by U.S. President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, describes actions taken toward her by her father when she was a child as potentially or probably inappropriate. And then go a big old fat true because they've had to retract it. And it is, in fact, true. This is now a bona fide true statement across the board. So my question is simply this. Why isn't anything being done about it? President Joe Biden, are you a pedophile? President Joe Biden, did you have inappropriate actions with your daughter? Because that's what your daughter said in her book. Or in her journal that has now been verified to be her journal. Why is nobody asking questions about this? Why is it when Project Veritas even gets their hands on it, the FBI raids them? Why is no one talking about the fact that we now have this known to be true? On April 29, 2024, Snopes changed the rating of this fact check from unproven to true based on testimony provided by Ashley Biden. Some of you were wondering if I was going to get to the point of how do we know it's true? Or how do we know it's her diary? Because Ashley Biden said so in testimony. That's how we know. But what are people going to do about it? At what point are we going to do anything? And the simple fact of the matter is nothing. Nothing's going to be done. In fact, comment in the chat below if you believe anything is going to be done to the geriatric in chief, because I don't believe that it is going to be done, and I don't believe that it will be done because it just seems like the evil keeps on winning, and nothing, no matter how horrible of an evidence. What a bang up dad Joe Biden is. You got Hunter Biden, and now you got Ashley Biden's diary. I mean, goodness. All right, Mr. Producer, what's next? I can't see what's next, so just hit me with it, and let's go as we go here. What's next in the lineup? All right, yes. So before we get into this, though, I want to go into our next sponsor. So let's go ahead and go into that real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ready Pantry, okay? We literally just showed you from President Trump that the food supply, this bird flu thing is becoming a real deal. They're going to try and affect the food supply. Cows and chickens. I don't know if you know this. Cows and chickens have a lot to do with the food that we eat every single day. My worry is that the shelves in the grocery stores are going to get very barren very quickly. So I'm asking you to check out readypantry.com/Graham. They have a 3-day supply kit, a 1-week supply kit. They got a 3-month supply kit, and they even have a yearly supply kit. They have a shelf life of 25 years, and now they even have water that has a shelf life of 25 years. Ladies and gentlemen, even President Trump is now saying that this bird flu thing is not going anywhere, and I don't believe that they're going to go about it the same way they did last time, that, oh, people are going to get sick and die and all this other kind of stuff. I believe that they're going after the food supply. And that's why I think that you really need to go check out my friends at readypantry.com/Graham right now. That's readypantry.com/Graham. Go get your food and protect yourself from the worst possible situation. That's readypantry.com/Graham right now. All right. Let's move on here. So this video started circulating yesterday. Now, this is 3-time Super Bowl champion. This is the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, Harrison Butker, who is a known Catholic, a loud Catholic voice. And comment in the chat right now, do you believe that Joe Biden is an actual Catholic? I don't think so. I'm not a Catholic in that denomination of form, but I have done a lot of research, and I do have a lot of friends that are Catholic, and I don't see how this dude has not been excommunicado in the first place from the Catholic faith, because literally, as Harrison Butker says right here, the audacity of a Catholic, in quotation marks, doing the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally is insanity. But don't just take it from me. Let's listen to Harrison Butker and blow that chat up while we do this, and keep liking and sharing this video. Play it, Mr. Producer.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2024, you are sitting at the edge of the rest of your lives. Each of you has the potential to leave a legacy that transcends yourselves and this era of human existence. In the small ways, by living out your vocation, you will ensure that God's church continues and the world is enlightened by your example. For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many
Yes.
talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most
Wow.
important titles of all, homemaker.
That's real emotion, man. That's real.
She's the primary educator to our children. She's the one who ensures I never let football or my business become a distraction from that of a husband and father. She is the person that knows me best at my core, and it is through our marriage that, Lord willing, we will both attain salvation. I say all of this to you because I have seen it firsthand, how much happier someone can be when they disregard the outside noise and move closer and closer to God's will in their life. Isabel's dream of having a career might not have come true, but if you asked her today if she has any regrets on her decision, she would laugh out loud without hesitation and say, heck no. As a man who gets a lot of praise and has been given a platform to speak to audiences like this one today, I pray that I always use my voice for God and not for myself. Everything I am saying to you is not from a place of wisdom, but rather a place of experience. I am hopeful that these words will be seen as those from a man not much older than you, who feels it is imperative that this class, this generation, and this time in our society must stop pretending that the things we see around us are normal.
Oh, well, that wasn't the part where he actually talked about Joe Biden. Mr. Producer, let's try to find that real quick while we go on that. That was a great part of the speech, but that wasn't the actual part where he talks about Joe Biden. So let's find that real quick, and as soon as you find it, let's bring it up on there. But I want to talk about what he said really quick while we're finding the actual clip where he talks to Joe Biden directly. The fact that he said, and ladies, I want to talk about this. Mother's Day was literally on Sunday. You don't get enough credit for what you do, and you don't get enough credit for the ministry that you actually partake in every single day. You guys are literally there holding down the fort with our children. And yes, fathers play such an immense role. Oh, is this it? Did we find it? Okay, let's play it real quick. I'll get back to that thought. Let's find this. Go ahead and play it, Mr. Producer.
And how you missed out on so many milestones the rest of us older people have taken for granted. While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people, it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice.
Preach it, baby.
Alone.
Do it.
From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies onto the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic.
Wow.
This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. These are the sorts of things we are told in polite society to not bring up. You know, the difficult and unpleasant things. But if we are going to be men and women for this time in history, we need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition. We must always speak and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice.
Yes.
It is safe to say that over the past few years, I've gained quite the reputation for speaking my mind.
Wow.
I never envisioned myself nor wanted to have this sort of a platform, but God has given it to me, so I have no other choice but to embrace it and preach more hard truths about accepting your lane and staying in it.
Pause.
As members of the church,
I could not agree more. God has given us these platforms. These are not our platforms. These are God's platforms. And what he just said right there, one, Joe Biden is not a Catholic. I'm not a Catholic, but I know for a fact that Joe Biden is not a Catholic. And as the church, We can no longer use cowardice as a reason to put abortion and all these other things into this political category that we no longer can talk about because, oh, 501c3, political issues, we can't talk about those things. Stop being a coward. Abortion is not a political issue. It is a biblical, moral issue. And wow, what a way to drop the hammer. The audacity of Joe Biden. And also, I have a lot of people, I did a poll yesterday, which is terrifying, I might add here. Mr. Producer, can you find the poll that I did on my Twitter page really quick so we can pull it up for everybody? I'll read it on here. You shouldn't have to scroll too far down. It was just 17 hours ago. And then pull up that so people can see it. And the reason I say that is everybody, every time I talk about politics and religion and all this stuff, everybody wants to bring out the separation of church and state. And I love it because that is their ultimate thing that they try to hit me on. How about we remember separation of church and state, idiot? Da 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 da. All right, so here's the poll that I did right here, and I just simply asked, is separation of church and state actually in the Constitution? Because that's what everybody wants to talk about is separation of church and state in the Constitution. And thank goodness, 67% of people got this right. The separation of church and state is nowhere in the Constitution. But there was 33% of people that got it wrong. And so, I just wanted to put this here. You can simply Google it, but this is very important. The words separation of church and state do not appear in the U.S. Constitution. But the concept, this is literally like you Google it. Like this is the first thing that pops up. Listen to this. But the concept is enshrined in the very first freedom guaranteed by the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Okay, that means that the government can't get involved in your religion. So, ergo, the separation of church and state was to keep the state out of the church. Okay, and then Thomas Jefferson is the one that wrote that. What was it? Danbury? Something? Let's see. Thomas Jefferson. I just want to make sure. Separation of church and state, quote. Believing with you that religion is a matter which lies solely between man and his God, that he owes account to none others for his faith or his worship, that the legitimate powers of government reach actions only and not opinions. I contemplate with sovereign reverence the act of the whole American people. Thomas Jefferson literally is saying in separation of church and state, government, stay out of the church. Let the church do what the church is going to do. If the church, and the reason why is because they were coming from a land, they were coming from a time when the government played such a big role in what the church could say, could do, couldn't do. The whole reason of Thomas Jefferson writing about the separation of church and state was to protect the church from the government. Not to keep the church silent about what the government is doing and what is political and what is not. You see, because they come from a time where the government was playing a part in church, where the government was dictating what a church could say, what it could say. And now we find ourselves in 2024. Don't we find ourselves in a very similar situation? Where the government is telling churches what they can and can't say because of their 501c3 status, and you don't want to lose that. Didn't we just relive, as Harrison Butker just said back in COVID, didn't we just live the government telling churches that they had to close their doors? Or even more so, the fact that the enemy hates worship and God loves worship, right, in a church. And you want to tell me that it's not evil what was going on with COVID. When they finally let churches open back their doors, they said, fine, you can go into the church, but you got to social distance, but you cannot sing. You cannot praise the Lord in church because that's dangerous. That's evil. We're dealing with evil, ladies and gentlemen, evil across the board. This is a spiritual battle that we are facing every single day. And talking about politics is fun, but politics is just the veil over what is actually going on, and it's spiritual warfare against darkness and principalities and all the above. Like this is what we're dealing with on a daily basis here. And what scares me the most is that 33% of people that actually believe that the separation of church and state is A, in the Constitution, and B, that it means that the church needs to stay out of politics. When in fact it was written, I really wish that Thomas Jefferson, and who am I to question Thomas Jefferson? I really wish instead of separation of church and state, it should have been separation of state from the church. That's how it should have been written and labeled. Because the only reason he wrote that was to protect the church, not to protect the government, all this other kind of stuff. But either way, that's a tangent for another day, I guess. Comment below if you agree. I'm curious your thoughts. Comment below if you agree with that statement, because we have to educate people, ladies and gentlemen. People just hear, oh, separation of church and state, da 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 da. That's not in the Constitution. So what are we talking about here? And it's shocking to me how many pastors actually think that A, it is, and B, that that's what it's meant to do in the first place, when it's actually not at all. All right, tangent over. All right, Miss Producer, what's next here? Speaking of churches, I didn't even mean to lead into this. I forgot that this is what was up next. So this is a story, speaking of churches and pastors that are just doing weird things. This is a story picked up here. So this is either Micah or Mika Miller, who can we zoom in a little bit on this? I can't read it, Mr. Producer. So it's the FBI and the U.S. attorney have been asked to investigate the, in quotations, suicide of pastor's wife, Mika Miller. Now, this is out here in Myrtle Beach. So Alyssa has been like deep diving into this thing, and this is going to be like the next true crime podcast here. But apparently, let's go to the next thing. Here we go. So apparently, does that video say what's going on, Mr. Producer? Can we click that video and see what it says real quick?
10 years old. It says she goes on to claim John Paul, quote, groomed her while she worked for him.
Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. Let's play this from the beginning.
Investigates a story that has received national attention about a former Myrtle Beach pastor. Robeson County Sheriff's officials say this woman, Micah Miller, died by suicide in a North Carolina state park only 2 days after serving her husband, John Paul Miller, divorce papers. Well, today we've obtained multiple police reports alleging abuse, grooming, harassment, and also stolen church funds. News 13's Adriana Lawrence tells us what those reports revealed.
News 13 obtained various reports today from Myrtle Beach police. Micah and John Paul Miller got married in 2017, but Micah claims in it she's known him just since she was 10 years old. It says she goes on to claim John Paul, quote, groomed her while she worked for him at Solid Rock Church. Micah and John Paul Miller have about a 14-year age difference, putting John Paul at 24 years old when Micah says she met him at the age of 10. Micah was 30 years old, and police reports show John Paul Miller is 44. Reports state the two separated in January 2023. It adds she was involuntarily hospitalized in a mental health facility for 2 days on February 8th of this year. It also says when she was discharged, Micah said hospital staff told her her husband had picked up her purse and car keys. She found her car missing and called the police to report the theft. She added she believed John Paul committed her to steal her car. The report states the officer contacted John Paul, who said he and his wife were not legally separated and she suffers from mental health disorders. It says John Paul then pointed out the car was marital property, so no criminal offense was made. Court documents we obtained showed John Paul also had power of attorney over Micah's health care.
All right, before we deep dive into this, let's get into our last sponsor really quick, because I see your comments. There's a lot of inside baseball here, and I want to talk about it. But first, we got to talk about an actual real Christian organization, and that is Patriot Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to stop paying hundreds of dollars to non-Christian woke companies that literally pay for abortions for their employees. You need to support a Christian organization like Patriot Mobile. Join me, Charlie Kirk, Dan Bongino, Dana Lash, Glenn Beck, Sebastian Gorka, Steve Bannon, and so many more that have made the switch to Patriot Mobile. You can do this by going to patriotmobile.com/Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham. They're cheaper, they're better, they're Christian. You can keep your phone, keep your number, you can upgrade your phone. And with the code GRAHAM, that's GRAHAM, you get free activation for your cell phone service. So what are you waiting for? Stop giving to these anti-Christian organizations. Give to a Christian one. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham, promo code Graham. All right, so back to this story. So before we go any further, this is something that I want to talk about with the church. And I don't know what the setup of this church was, but this guy was apparently married. Can we go back to the New York Post photo while I talk about this? This guy was apparently married when he met this apparently 10-year-old when they first met. And apparently reports are saying that they both were married. I may have that messed up, but I know for sure he specifically does. They both were married when they had an affair with each other. And then they got married after that. And how that guy is still a pastor after that moment is insane. Now, I was told, and I read up on that he was told to repent and step down from the board of the church. He refused to do so, and half the congregation left. But the problem was a lot of the board and the elders of the church and a lot of the congregation still stayed there. So the fact that we live in an era of the church where this can go on in the first place and this person can still be allowed to preach is very interesting to me. Now, this is not me saying I know what happened or anything like that, but here's what I do know. Is this the one of him the day that she committed suicide? Yeah. Okay. This is apparently just play the clip. That's the best way to do it. Let's just play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Worshiping and enjoying, and probably hadn't even had time to look down here yet. But I got this lady next to her body and spent time with her body about 4 times this week, and each time it still didn't hit me. I thought she was going to wake up. I even tried to raise her from the dead one time this week, and that morning actually I went to the mall later. She had bought me this dog tag, and the chain broke, so I went to the mall to get it fixed. And I saw a female about 20, 30 feet in front of me, and she was wearing one of Micah's dresses. And she had the same tattoo Micah has on her arm and the exact same hair. And out of just instinct, I screamed, "Micah!" And the girl turned around, and it was one of her sisters. And I thought I raised her from the dead. She's alive, But I can't wait to see her again one day, worshiping and enjoying and
Okay, so allegedly this was very soon after this had happened, which again, I don't know any pastor that would immediately go back up to the pulpit, even if there are no nefarious things going on here. Let's just say that this poor woman actually did commit suicide. Like, what pastor's in the pulpit immediately after that? It's just weird. Across the board. Do we have anything else on this? Do we have the one of him having like a mental breakdown, Mr. Producer, on there? If not, Colin Ruggs got it if you want to go find it. While we talk about this a little further, you can just look at it while we go here. Apparently this guy suffers from a lot of mental health issues, a lot of mental break issues across the board. There's that dumb little thing that the camera does with the thumbs up thing. That's weird. To me, this is yet another failure on the church. The fact that this guy at 24 years old met a 10-year-old, and then eventually when that 10-year-old, I don't know exactly what age it was when they met, but the fact that this pastor and I say pastor loosely, is able to still pastor a church is quite baffling, in my opinion. And it shows the state that a lot of churches are in. True deception of corruptible men instead of God. Okay, I guess we found it. All right, so apparently this is him. Let's scroll in a little bit so I can read this. Let's go full screen so I can see this, Mr. Producer here. So this is breaking. The FBI has been called to investigate the death of Micah Miller as disturbing accusations continue to come out about her husband, John Paul Miller. Miller's ex-wife once accused him of engaging in sexual acts with children under 16. Before she died, Micah said in a police report that Miller had groomed her since she was a minor. Miller's ex-wife made similar accusations. He also confessed to me and other staff members of the church that he had sexual relation encounters with young females from the church who were under the age of 16. When the defendant's affair was discovered, the church leaders demanded the defendant seek counseling. Hold on. Come back real quick. Whoa. If this is true, and he admitted to this to the staff members of the church, and then the elders and the board, they didn't kick him out? I mean, yes, you need to go get counseling 100%, but you also need to go to jail. They recommended that you get sexual addiction counseling. Look, and I know as pastors, I know that we're supposed to minister to people, but this is insane. Like this is crazy. Pastors are not God. Pastors are not above the law. Pastors, what? He admitted this to you? He admitted this stuff to you? And your response was, well, you need to go get sexual addiction counseling. And that's what he refused to do? Not, you need to step down from the pulpit. Not, you're gone, you're out of here. And then he refused. No. Like, what? Anyway, let's click the video. This is apparently the dude. He apparently suffers from this, but let's just watch this video here. This is an interesting little clip. You okay? Huh? You okay? What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter?
I switched my medication. Makes me go crazy.
Is somebody helping you?
Mark's coming to get me.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was going to see Jesus.
Okay. But you got Mark coming?
Somebody called him,
Bondage.
All right. Pause. That seems like a guy that should be speaking from the pulpit. Anyway, I'm sure that a lot more information is going to come out, but we had to talk about this because this is some crazy stuff that's going on. Anyway, regardless of what happened, our prayers are for Micah Miller and her family. And I'm sure a lot more information is going to come out, but if I had to put money on it right now, I would say that it was not as clean cut as it appears to be. All right, Mr. Producer, what is our next thing for today? Oh, Skynet is coming near you. This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. All right, so apparently this is the new OpenAI, and I'm hearing rumors that Apple is partnering with this. This was the announcement video of this, and I want you to listen. AI can now, apparently, in real time, cognitively understand video, audio, speech, inflection of voice, what it's seeing, and it can talk to you. And I want you to listen to the voice that's talking back to this guy. This is some wild, creepy stuff right here. Play this.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there. It's going great. How about you?
I see you're rocking an OpenAI hoodie. Nice choice. What's up with that ceiling, though? Are you in a cool industry-style office or something?
Well, can you take a guess at what I might be doing based on what I'm showing you here?
From what I can see, it looks like you're in some kind of recording or production setup. With those lights, tripods, and possibly a mic, it seems like you might be gearing up to shoot a video or maybe even a live stream.
Yeah.
What?
In fact, we've got a new announcement to make.
That's exciting. Announcements are always a big deal. Judging by the setup, it looks like it's going to be quite the professional production. Is this announcement related to OpenAI, perhaps?
It is.
I'm intrigued.
And in fact, what if I were to say that you're related to the announcement, or that you are the announcement?
Me? The announcement is about me? Well, color me intrigued. Are you about to reveal something about AI? Or more specifically about me as a part of OpenAI? You've got me on the edge of my, well, I don't really have a seat, but you get the idea. What's the big news?
Yeah, we've got a new model that can interact with the world through audio, vision, and text.
No, please, no.
Exactly. No. Did anybody else? Did anybody else also get the feeling that it sounded like she was kind of flirting? Well, the OpenAI was like flirting with him. Did anybody else get that? Like it felt flirtatious to me, which is weird. It reminds me of that scene from Blade Runner, the new one, where they don't have like real wives or real girlfriends. It's just AI. There, dude, this is the weird. Yeah, there you go. Look, like, I mean, this is the weirdest. I don't get it. And it sounded just the fact, and then it even can pick up, I read, inflections of your tone. So if you're upset, it'll change its tone to match you. If you're sad, it'll change its tone to lift you up. If you're angry, it'll get angry back at you. So it can now mimic emotions and mirror emotions. Does anybody else see, like, has anyone ever seen a movie ever? Like one movie ever that like this is a good idea and this is a good place to be. I don't know. I got then. All right, next, Mr. Producer, what else we got here? Oh, okay. So everybody knows about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. This was, I guess, like a Q&A thing here, and I want to bring up just the downgrade of our society and the just horrific job that parents are doing. Relax. I'm not talking about every parent, but just like I know that parents are not doing a great job right now. This is a kid that's asking this question here. So I apologize if there's a little bit of language. We do try to mitigate that as much as possible. But here we go. Play this and listen to this.
Who would train me better, Jake or you, Mike?
Me, definitely me. Older fighters have more heart and balls and weren't afraid, but I think the newer fighters have more skill and technique and are sharper. So that's why I'd be a better coach.
Yeah, tight shit. So you think he has
That was the
bigger
kid
balls?
that just
Who
said
do you
that.
think's got a higher body count? What's your body count, Jake? What's your body count?
No.
Where is this kid's mother?
Pause. Exactly. Where is that kid's mother? So not only did the kid just cuss right there, I mean, this is like a Netflix interview. Then he said, who has the bigger you-know-what and who has the bigger body count? Where is your mother? Where are your parents? What is going on in our society that we believe that this is okay? See, this is a direct result of parents who want to be their kids' friend. God entrusts you with your children to be their parent, not their friend. And if you're a good parent and you steward well with what God has entrusted you with, your children, if you're a good parent, then your adult children will be your friends. That's how that works. When you want to be their friend, you end up with whatever that was. Absolutely disgusting and devastating. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Do we have anything else for the day, Mr. Producer? Oh, speaking of mental illness, Caterpillar Man is here. This is, well, it's indescribable. So let's just play the clip.
I would like to see the sign that says no hammocks.
We've got a whole.
Where's the no hammock sign?
Where's the no hammock sign?
I can't see you. You can't see me.
If you don't come out of that,
I'm not here.
Call the police. No.
What?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. You can't stop me.
Oh my god!
I won't be stopped. Whoa. I said I won't be stopped. You see that?
Oh my god!
How are you gonna get out of there, man?
Yeah? I'm like an anaconda.
I'm like an anaconda.
Oh my god!
What
You're gonna give yourself a concussion.
Where's the no hammock sign?
Come on, just drive the bus.
This is egregious.
I don't think we
This is
can. Can you
egregious.
get down so we can get where we're going, please? Dude, please.
I'm staying in the hammock.
I'm not moving this bus.
You know
to get
what?
out of the
There's
hammock.
AC in here.
Dude, get
I've got
down.
snacks. I'm not getting
All right,
out.
pause.
Get down.
It's Caterpillar Man, ladies and gentlemen, and how dare those people stop him from fulfilling his superhero duties of cocooning himself to blossom into a beautiful butterfly one day. Where's the no hammock sign? Mental illness is real. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Is we stopped labeling people as mentally ill when they obviously are, and that's a prime example. Either that, or he really is Caterpillar Man, and you know he's going into his fortress of solitude to, I don't know, just I got nothing. Mothra's fixing to come out. All right. Do we got anything else? Oh, this is really good. And I think that this is, again, a testament to the downgrade of our society. Here is a lady that says something and then throws a complete 180 out here. Let's listen to this. And ladies, comment below. Are you this way? Do you agree with this lady? Let's play the clip.
Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening.
Okay.
And he
All
was
right.
like,
That's
that's
decent.
totally fine. Just come over. And I was like,
All right.
cool. So I go to his place.
50-50
He
at
respects
this
my
point.
wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like,
What?
I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean?
What?
I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I just now I feel ugly.
All right, pause. Whoa. First of all, ladies, don't go home with a dude from the bar on a first date or whatever. Don't do that. Second of all, guys, respect women's wishes. Wishes. Second of all, guys, respect women's wishes. But 2 or 3, don't do that first part. But here's the thing that's weird. So this girl wanted him to be chivalrous and respect her body and respect her decision that she did not want to sleep with him. But she didn't want to sleep with him, but she wanted him to attempt to sleep with her so she could turn him down, so she could feel good about herself by putting down another person. This is insanity. This is hookup culture. This is Jezebel is what this is. This is the epitome of looking for affirmation in all the wrong places. Don't do this. Future generations dating, do not do this. Don't go home with someone on a first date. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to tell a man, I'm not going to sleep with you, but we can sleep together, but I'm not going to sleep with you. And then especially ladies, don't expect a man to honor your wishes in a situation you never should have put yourself in the first place. And then when they honor your wishes, then you degrade them and say something must be wrong with them because what you really wanted to do was shame them so you could feel better about yourself. This is the world. This is dating culture. And we wonder why the world is falling apart and the birth rate is going down because this is dating culture. This is where we're at in society and we all need Jesus. All right. Comment below. What do you think? Do you agree with what she says? Do you think that she's right? Do you think she's wrong? Let me know your thoughts. And then last but not least, stop getting on airplanes. This is, well, let's just play the clip here. This is crazy stuff. DEI, people ruining everything.
The aircraft is being observed, so to speak, because oil pressure on the number 2 engine is trending upwards. And the aircraft is going to require, actually it's the fuel pressure, fuel system filter replacement when the aircraft gets back from Hawaii. They've told us that the plane's good to go, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm not going to leave the ground if I'm not completely certain that we have an airworthy aircraft, so I'm going to probably err on the side of caution, and I'm refusing the aircraft. So what that means for you right now, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if we have another airplane here at the airport, but I hate to do this to you, but this is one of those tough calls that I have to make, and I feel a lot more comfortable making this call than flying 6 hours over the water and maybe having an issue. Anyway, that's where things stand now. I apologize for that.
Can we give a round of applause to this pilot, man? I mean, using his discernment and his judgment. So in case you didn't pick up what happened, there was something wrong with the oil pressure system in the gauge and that. And the DEI hire mechanics on the ground were telling him, oh, the plane's good to go. But as soon as you land in Hawaii, you're going to have to get it fixed and you're going to have to get it replaced. And so anyway, then the pilot said that, all right, cool. Well, we're not flying. So I think that's amazing. I think that's awesome. All right. We are actually on low power mode on my computer that I just have found out. So that is all we have for this show today. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to hit that like button and please make sure to hit the follow button if this is your first time. Make sure to go back and comment in the actual comment section. The more you do that, the more people see it, the more we are able to go back and interact with you across the board. Let's go through and get some super chats out of the way. There weren't a whole lot of them today, but let's go ahead and get into those. This is from Dalton5734. Good morning, troops. I think we should be putting some fact checkers in jail. They have literally lied about almost everything. By the way, you look like you've lost a ton of weight. Barely recognize you. Top. Yeah, I have. I've literally lost 50 pounds. Get back to my active duty weight, which is awesome. Okay, let's see here. This is from Payant511. Hello, Zach, mystery producer. You've got away with it. You gave it away with the horn. I don't believe I've heard the horn since you left. Missed you, brother. High ground, pleasure. Sir, great show as always. I hate to break it to you. Mystery producer is not Zach. It is somebody that will reveal himself, not reveal himself, that sounded weird, that will make himself known when he's ready to. So, but it's not Zach. Good guess though, but it's not Zach. This is from Beth's Life. He was having an affair with a married woman when she died. He is a sick man. I guess you're talking about the pastor in Myrtle Beach. Again, I agree with you. I don't know how that person is still in ministry. All right, this is from Chrissy Katz. Graham, I'd love a series from you on the Bible, understanding difference between versions and maybe even masses as you had planned. Are you still working on that? I love Dear America and Chats, but absolutely, we're still working on that 100%. June 3rd is going to be big announcement time. And then this summer, we're going to be rolling out a bunch of other things. I would encourage everybody right now to do me a favor. Go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the podcast and hit that subscribe button. We're going to start putting out content that you're only going to be able to hear on audio as well. Maybe like some 10-minute like daily thoughts devotionals, just a lot of extended version type stuff. So everybody right now, there's 6,000 of you right here. You can literally do it on your phone. Just go to wherever you listen to podcasts and either type in Graham Allen or Dear America and hit that subscribe button on the podcast right now. It's absolutely free. We're going to be giving a lot of free extra content on there. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really powerful. I believe it's going to